So there aren't any sidewalks out here in the middle of nowhere, Georgia. So where do you walk? You walk in the middle of the road. I don't know if you can hear all the birds out here. Lots of birds. So I just decided to take a walk, show the view. I mean, there's not really a lot to see, but it's really pretty out here. Very green. It's really pretty. Lots of birds, like I said. So I'm going to walk down this way a little bit and just see what's up. Today is 3 weeks that I quit working. So let me see if I can switch this around. Okay, here I am. So it's been 3 weeks now since I quit my job. And at first I was a little lost, little discombobulated about it because it wasn't part of the plan to try to find another job. The plan was to be retired. And so I did not look for another job. I have talked to some people about other work, but I don't know that I really want to do anything. I have some savings, so it's like a bridge. It'll help me a little bit. And my Social Security will start in a couple of months, which I got the approval for and everything. I won't be a rich retiree by no means, but I just couldn't keep working. The stress, the mental and physical stress, it's just too much. People just don't realize when they're younger, if they work a job that has anything physical to it at all, that when they get older, it's going to really put a strain on your body. I've had lots of injuries during my working career. Most of them have been in the last 10 years. And it doesn't seem like they were that bad of a deal, but when you get older and you get injured, it's not as easy to recover from it. So, my arm hurts all the time. And I have a hard time sleeping. I can't do the things that I had planned on doing, like want to learn how to play the piano. I'm trying to work around that. It's not easy. And then the mental part of working in today's, I would call it corporate society, where the companies are owned by a few people or stockholders or something like that. And the people that hire you and you work for aren't as invested in a personal type relationship. So when they say we're a family, that doesn't mean anything nowadays, except that you're going to have a dysfunctional relationship somewhere along the line, as far as I can tell. Years ago when I worked for smaller companies, corporations, they were more focused on their people. They had good benefits. They did good things for you. They made it a nice place to work. And it's work, right? It's a job. But they didn't make it unbearable. and they didn't make it feel like you were working for no gain, in your future. And you got decent raises. And if you didn't get decent raises, then you knew there was always something else you could go do that you would. And so that kind of situation changed so much that they just don't do that anymore. They're all about making the big bucks for the corporations. Private equity has taken over so many things, and private equity you'll never make any money as far as just being a worker in the way this country is running right now. So if you're not going to be making any good money, you're not going to get a good pension, you're not going to get any good things in the long run out of it, what is the point except for just a paycheck? So if you're only working for a paycheck, then you need to go to where the best paycheck is. And if this company is not willing to give you a good paycheck, then you go to the next one. And then when it gets to the point where they're wanting you to do the work of 3 people, then it's time to move on to another place, even if the money's good. Because you can't do the work of 3 people and sustain that for a long period of time. It burns you out really bad. I know, I did it for years. And that's one of the big reasons that I decided to quit. Because I just physically can't do the work of 3 people anymore. I could do it when I was younger, but I can't do it now. So, if you're thinking about retiring and you're anywhere close to Social Security, and think about any way possible that you can do it. If you got a little bit of savings, if you have your house paid off, if you have your debts paid off, just do it. I paid off almost all my debts, and I kept working for a while, and I've saved some cash. Not a lot, but it'll be enough to bridge my Social Security for a while. And then at one point I'll probably sell my house and I'll have some more cash to live on. I don't know if anybody uses ChatGPT, but I like to use ChatGPT to analyze things. And I did a deep dive analysis into how my finances would work if I sold my house. Would it be prudent to buy another house, spend half of the cash that I get and buy another house, and then, or would it be more prudent to rent? And I told ChatGPT what my income would be from Social Security, how much I would be getting from my house, how much money I'd need from that proceeds to maybe take care of a couple of minor things, and what would be the analysis, including, interest and inflation and cost of living and all that kind of stuff, and over a 10-year period of time. Not like, a lot of these people say, figure your retirement, count on it being to 100 years old. Well, very few people live that long, and I'm not counting on that. So anyway, they did a 10-year, 15 and 20-year analysis, and considering the cost of living raises and the inflation rate, and also things that would happen if you owned a home, big expensive things that you'd have to fix, the cost of insurance, taxes, and compare that to renting with the cost of rent going up, at inflationary rates, or best areas to live in, all those things. And since if I rented, my cash would be in investment, even a minimal investment, safe investment. Even with that, I could live comfortably better if I rented. I was kind of surprised about that, because everybody always says, buy a house, it's an investment for your future and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is my future, right? This is the future that I was investing for. And if I didn't sell the house and I stayed in the house with my Social Security, I could live in it. I could afford to keep it, but I could not afford to do any traveling. I couldn't afford to do any upgrades. I wouldn't be, if I had something major happen, like the air conditioning go out, it'd be a big hit on me, if I could afford it at all, depending on how far into the future that would be. A roof, a hurricane come and blow it away, all those things. They said it would be safer and better in the long run if I rented. And it showed an exact figure of how much money it would cost me, both of them, accounting for, any kind of major things happening throughout the years. And so that has kind of cemented my idea of selling my house and just renting. And I've been visiting my sister here for the last week, and her and my cousin and some other people there, and other people are asking me, what are you going to do now? Where are you going to go? Where do you want to go? I'm like, I don't know where I want to go. I don't know where I want to go. I like to wander. That's my problem. And I'm glad I bought a house, because now I have a paid off house and I can sell it, and I have, a good chunk of money for my living expenses, as opposed to a retirement account, which I don't have. So I don't know where I'm going to go. I know places I want to go, and I know places that I need to go to visit friends, family, and that kind of thing. But as far as staying put, I'm not really sure. And I go somewhere and I really like it, I'll stay a few months, move on. So that's about where I am with all this. Right now, I'm in the middle of Georgia, enjoying the sunshine and the breeze. Next week I'm going to be going back to Florida, not back home, but to my my hometown, where my son lives and some other family lives, and be visiting with them and checking things out, visiting some friends, staying with a friend there actually. And then I'll probably go back home and get back to the routine, because I know my grass is going to need cutting by the time I get back, and the lawnmower ain't going to get there and cut itself. So anyway, figured I'd give you an update, show you the really beautiful weather out here, and see you next time. Have a good afternoon. Enjoy life.